He thinks it may be Tarpleton. He's going to see to that, and then I'm going to schedule surgeries on both wrists. Could be carpal tunnel.
Yeah. Call meeting to order. Oh, please rise. And I ask you to join me in a moment of reflection on the business before us this evening. And please keep in your prayers all the people that are suffering on the southeast coast of the United States and Bahamas based on recent hurricane. And please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Alderman Basso.
Here.
Alderman Violet.
Here.
Alderman Clifford.
Here.
Alderman Key. Here. Alderman Kramarski.
Here.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Here.
Alderman McGovern.
Here.
Alderman McGrogan.
Here.
Mayor, City Clerk, Treasurer, and Attorney General.
All right, there's no special presentations tonight. On the consent calendar, we've got 4 items. The approval of the City Council meeting from August 20th, 2019, along with the approval of the payroll and voucher list for the period ending August 30th, 2019, and an approval of request for a special use permit for the Humanitarian Relief Foundation to conduct a rummage sale on September 6th and 7th in accordance with the city code, and the approval of a tag day request for Blue Cap Foundation for their annual tag day fundraiser, which will be held on October 4th and 5th, 2019. With that, I entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Kramarski.
Second.
Second by Alderman Violet. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Kramarski.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Yes.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Motion passes. No sealed bids. Tonight, actually, I don't have any remarks, so feel lucky, right? City Clerk, anything?
No report.
City Treasurer?
Thank you, no report.
City Attorney?
No report.
Any communications? Alderman Kramarski?
Actually, it's not a communication, it's from a resident, and I won't mention any names.
All right.
But they had an issue after the storm that I assisted them with, and they sent me gift cards. I don't accept gifts, although the thought is there, but please, whoever I help, that's my job, so I don't accept gifts. I'm going to return these tomorrow. Thank you.
Any other communications anyone have this evening? All right. Citizens wishing to address the council? Anyone?
Yes, we have that.
Good evening. I'm Paul Bierman, and I submitted the zoning variance application for the house at 12313 South 74th Avenue. And we appreciate your consideration tonight and approval of the Planning and Zoning Committees having approved that special use application. And I wanted to thank the Economic and Community Development Coordinator, the Zoning Appeals Board, and the Planning and Zoning Committee, who have all been extremely supportive of our plans for our home. We're excited that with your approval, we'll move forward on making this home ready for our sons to live independently as members of the Palos Heights community. Having completed this process, however, we request the council review and consider revising the zoning ordinance to better recognize privately owned homes. My wife and I own this home. Privately owned homes intended as a personal residence for family members with special needs. We're concerned that the current ordinance wrongly characterizes as special use based solely on persons with disabilities needing support from services of a third party. And it fails to recognize that the home remains privately owned and is rented to these persons. We're also concerned that this ordinance is not consistently enforced across Palos Heights, which has other homes that are rented to more than 2 unrelated persons. But again, we appreciate all the support from the members of both the city committees and your community development and building staff, and look forward to our sons moving into the home following this meeting. Thank you.
Yeah, your point's well taken. As I read the ordinance pertains to it, as many of you know, I'm involved in Sertoma, and we've got 7 or 8 solo
Sure.
homes throughout the southwest suburbs, and we probably could update the ordinance to more contrite, to the statute as it stands right now, so you take a look at that. Great, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Any other citizens wishing to address the council? Yes, ma'am.
I'm Pam Martin, formerly Redmond. I reside at 12303 South 74th Avenue. I've been in attendance for all the meetings that has been on this issue. This is my boyfriend, Tom Ryan. He lives in Oak Lawn. He was told at the last meeting to look up the...
Yes, thank you. I apologize for not being completely prepared. However, via the Palos Heights website and American Legal Publishing, I have been able to find all of the registered variances that were granted, or special use permits, rather, that were granted. There was a total of 130 of them since January 2nd of 1979, only 3 of which fall into residential areas. 7 are not in what we consider B designations for zoning, but 4 of those are along major business corridors. This property being located centrally within a strictly residential, single-family neighborhood seems to be counterproductive to the spirit of, and the intention of the special use permits and the zoning variations, which aren't really zoning variations, they're code variations, but however it's worded. So in moving with that, the city's definition about family does not coincide to who will be occupying the house, as the gentleman addressed. That moves it away from a single-family residence to at least a multiple-family residence. And the fact that, as was admitted in the last meeting, money will be exchanging hands for services rendered for the 3 individuals who will be hired to caretake these gentlemen, that kind of moves it into a business. So we are here asking that at least the zoning board consider a complete zoning change for the property, as this is for younger gentlemen who I believe are in their early 20s, late teens, early 20s. I don't know how the property will be titled or deeded, but I would imagine it would be in a trust, and as we were informed at the last meeting that the special use terminates with transfer of ownership. Well, transfer of ownership could be 60, 70, hopefully 80 years from now. I think that's a very extensive period of time for a temporary special use permit.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other citizens wishing to address the council? All right. If not, Finance Committee? Alderman?
Mr. Mayor, no report.
Public Safety, Alderman McGovern.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I have no actual report, but I just want to show everybody what one thing that's going to be, you're going to be seeing around the schools now. This is going to be a new sign they're going to be putting up. Okay? This is with all the children back in school. It's time for everybody to be very aware of our students, our crossing guards, the school buses, students walking across the street, bicyclists, students on bikes going across the street. And so the city has added in now, they're going to be putting signs up here like this. It's going to add just slow down, watch it, and be careful. Okay? To go along with that, on a Lock It and Lose It program, we've been very fortunate. First, we were unfortunate. We had two cars stolen in the last couple of weeks. They were unlocked cars that were stolen. They were later recovered in Harvey. Fortunately, the thieves were arrested, and they have a trial pending in court at this time. So, again, please be very cautious. Lock your cars. Don't leave them unlocked. Don't leave that thing in the car. All they got to do is press the button and start your car up. And if you're going to leave it unlocked, don't put your garage door opener up, because you just opened your garage door up to turn around and have everybody look in. And don't go thinking that you're immune. I will tell you right now, don't think you're immune. We have a wonderful community. We have a safe community. As much as I love it, I have to tell you, it's not perfect. And there are no perfect places. So please be very careful with it. Let's continue. Let's This is the only way you're going to get these thieves to turn around and leave is if you have every car locked. They are not taking or breaking anything. They're just going after unlocked cars. And the last thing I really have to turn around and talk about is I want to thank the police department for everything they did over the Labor Day weekend as far as DUIs and distracted driving. The campaigns ended up being very, very successful. And with that, Mr. Mayor, that's all I have at this time.
All right, thank you, sir, appreciate it. Municipal grounds and property, Alderman Basso?
Yes, Mayor, I have several items on the agenda this evening. Item number 7, motion to authorize the city attorney to draft an ordinance for the sale at auction of a 1996 Ford F-250 XL.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Basso, second by Alderman Kromarski. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to waive the rules to adopt the ordinance.
Moved by Alderman Basso, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Kromarski. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Item number 9, move to approve.
Alderman Basso, you should make a motion and to approve the ordinance and to
I'm
adopt the
sorry.
ordinance, I'm sorry. Should make a motion to adopt the ordinance,
I
too.
makes a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Moved by Alderman Basso.
Second.
Second by Alderman Kromarski. Discussion? Roll call?
Alderman Butler. Aye.
Alderman Kromarski.
Yes.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item number 9, move to approve replacement of the existing City Hall boiler with a new high-efficiency hot water boiler through the purchasing cooperative with Train US Incorporated for $91,066.
Moved by Alderman Basso.
Second.
Second by Alderman Kromarski. Any discussion? Roll call?
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman McGovern.
Aye.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Kromarski.
Yes.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
And item number 10, motion to approve the installation, removal, and storage of the 2019 holiday decorations by Temple Display for $7,663.95.
Moved by Alderman Basso.
Second.
Second by Alderman Kromarski. Discussion? Roll call?
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Kromarski.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Let's see, end of my report, Mr. Mayor, except I would like to remind people that there's going to be many, many trees coming down in the next couple of weeks, and chipper service will be out for a few more weeks. We're probably a little bit behind with all of those activities because of the weather and a couple of storms that have hit us, but all those chores will be done and all those improvements will be made. That's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Planning and zoning, Alderman Clifford.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion to authorize the city attorney to draft an ordinance allow for a special use for a small residential care home located at 12313 South 74th Avenue.
Moved by Alderman Clifford. Is there a second? Second by Alderman McGovern. Discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
I think everybody knows I'm a very compassionate person, and the way the ordinance stands, you know, I do have questions and reservations, but the way the ordinance stands, I feel I have no choice but to vote yes.
A resident called into question as to whether the ownership of the home, it makes a difference whether it's a private individual or an individual has an LLC. And so I guess I'm asking our city attorney, is there anything within this ordinance that's going to be written that would stop us from voting on this if it was a LLC doing this?
No.
Okay.
Any questions? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That's the end of my report, Mr. Mayor.
Recreation, Alderman Key.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have one item to mention, and that's to remind people that on the 15th of September is Lake Catherine's Butterfly Fest. It's one of the largest events there of the year, and it's from 11 o'clock to 4:30, and they always have lots of vendors besides the, and food besides the butterflies being there, and I believe you can get coupons from Groupon. So check out the web for that, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Alderman. Roads and construction, Alderman Kromarski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Move to adopt an ordinance amending Chapter 76 of the City Code Schedule 4 stop intersections to correspond with changes made as a result of the approved 2017 traffic control study.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Kromarski, second by Alderman Key. Discussion? Roll call?
Alderman Kromarski.
Yes.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski.
No.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
That's the end of my report,
All right,
Mayor.
thank you. License, permits, and franchising, Alderman Lewandowski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report.
All right, water and sewer, Alderman Violet.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Item 13 was deferred for a vote at our last meeting. I'll read it again. I move to approve a 3% increase to the current water rates to compensate for the Alsip and City of Chicago rate increase.
Moved by Alderman Violet. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Kromarski. Discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
So, we did discuss it at length. Hopefully, this will be a little bit quicker this evening. I just want to mention, being a member of that committee for 18 years, there are certainly valid points that all of us have discussed, building up a reserve fund, et cetera. At the same time, during that 18 period, I've also been on the Finance Committee and currently serve as chairman. And I've seen the city funds escalate substantially from a negative balance to over $17.5 million that we now have in the Treasury. And the second point is that in the Sewer and Water Fund, we have over $7.5 million. Over that period of time, each year, and if it's my recollection, this hasn't failed me yet, we normally do it because, there's a possibility, since the city is aging, that, we need to make sure that we have enough reserves in case there's major pipe problems or the water towers. I think we are getting to the point that, every couple of years, the city of Chicago passes on water increases to all the suburbs that buy water from them. And then we're part of that chain. And so I think that this is probably because of, probably a good time to start thinking about, this will probably pass, but, if it's a 3% rate, and if the city has, I heard Mayor Lightfoot saying that the city deficit is substantial, they're looking for all sorts of ways to get money, and they can keep downstreaming it to the suburbs to get some of those funds to help run the city of Chicago. The way that the plan is set up now, and we probably should do a more in-depth study to see what alternatives we can come up with to alleviate these increases for the residents, because whether the residents know it or not, but they basically all get a standard 12,500 gallons, I think, if my memory serves me. And I think, and some of the other members of the committee have probably thought the same thing and have even expressed the same opinion, that what we should do is maybe think of ways to, curtail some of the usage. So give the people an incentive not to think, well, I can just run my water under my toothbrush or whatever. Because right now there is no incentive for that. And so, I think that, since the majority of the members here would like to see this pass, it's probably going to pass. But I do think for the future, we should explore some ideas to try to minimize these increases, because until we stop using an abundance of water, the city is going to keep the city of Chicago is going to keep charging all the suburbs more and more money. Over the 18 years, we probably have all sorts of statistics that we could report on later that shows how much it's gone up. And we're all well aware of Illinois' tax problems, and they're trying to find dollars wherever they can. And I just feel that maybe we can combat some of that by being more environmentally conscious on giving people an incentive, and maybe they don't have to have a 12,500 gallon minimum before they're, maybe it's 8,000, 10,000, but we won't know that until there's a report or a study to give us that information. So that's all I'll say on it, and I just think that it's something that we definitely should look at.
just to your one point, the fact that we have a $17 million amount of money in the funds, a good portion of that is set aside for certain
Yes.
capital funds and things. It's not general funds, so
Right.
we
Mr.
don't want to mislead
Chairman,
people that we've got all this
finance
money.
committee,
Yeah,
get it.
right.
And just saying that that when you look at the financials, which we do every month,
Mm-hmm.
that, unless the meeting's canceled, that we're in pretty good shape, and I think it's a tribute to everybody in this room what conditions we're in. And I just think that it's not that we're building up a rainy day fund.
Right.
I just think that we could be more, like at home, if your kids have the lights on, what do you tell them? Turn the lights off when you leave the room.
Okay.
Maybe we can do something similar with the water situation where there's less consumption, drives the bills down, and then maybe we don't have to pass the 3% annual increase.
All right, good point.
Okay.
All right.
Mr. Mayor?
Alderman Basso?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I would just like to continue to be on record as saying I am certainly interested in trying to find alternatives to the billing standard that we currently have. I'm sure there's a different formula. I'm sure there are several different formulas that we could use for billing the residents for the amount of water they use or do not use. At this time, the council is not willing to try to investigate that, but maybe in the future, we can still hit upon that.
I mean, I think we're always looking to save money if we can. Alderman Komarski?
Yes, I would just like to comment that certain of these funds are restricted, they're enterprise funds,
Right.
and the only way we're gonna get any cost savings in Chicago is when they learn how to control their purse strings with
Right.
spending.
Right. Alderman, still over there?
Is this a one-year increase, or is this?
1 year.
This year's one. In
This
past, they have
This is
been,
just for this year.
that's just for this year. Out of fairness to what we charge and what people could charge, such as American Water, if you take a look and put in comparison what they pay out in Homer Glen and places, $800-900 water bills a month, I guess in one way we're lucky, but I see the cost, but we're at the line with Chicago, and they can't pass these costs down, I understand, unless they can justify them, and they go to ELSA and then come to us.
Right.
Correct?
Correct.
Correct.
And any justification or cost increase has to be documented, and any service they do
Right.
goes to us.
Right.
Correct?
Correct, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? All right. Roll call?
Alderman McGrogan.
No.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Yes.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Kromarski.
Yes,
Alderman Basso.
No.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. Next.
Item 14, I move to approve payment to RJN Group for professional engineering services rendered through July 19th, 2019, totaling $53,193.54.
Moved by Alderman Violet, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Lewandowski, discussion? Roll call?
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Kromarski.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
All right.
That's the end of my report.
Thank you. Special reports, Business and Economic Development, Alderman Key?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So on the 23rd of August, we had Welcome Back, which is a program that the city joins with the faculty at Trinity College to welcome the freshman class in on move-in day. And I'd like to thank Channel 4 for coming out and just doing a video of that event, but I'd also like to thank Great American Bagel, Aurelio's Pizza, Lucano's Pizza, Lou Malnati's Pizza, and Jimmy John's, who provided food. We provided lunch for all the students and their families and all the kids that were there helping with the move-in. So thank you to all those people. And that concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Ad hoc cable, Alderman McGovern, sorry.
Mr. Mayor, the only thing I'd like to say about that tonight is that unfortunately, our two Trinity students, Abby and Nalani, will no longer be with us because they have to go back to school for their semester. And after Abby turned around and spent about 2 weeks cleaning up that Channel 4 ante room, those two women are going to be very well missed. They not only cleaned up that room, They inventoried all the excess property in there and were able, so that we were able to get rid of it and dispose of it properly. So I wish them a lot of success. I thank them for having been with us for the entire summer. And again, that's all I have.
Yeah, we've been fortunate over the years to get some good interns from Trinity, and this is a good relationship we've had over the years, and it's quite a compliment to what the education they provide there, so thank you very much. Any old business anyone have? Citizens wish to address the council, ask questions? New business? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?